found an old fish tank that my dad owned. It sat outside collecting all kinds of dirt, so I did a deep clean before housing anything with a will to live. After an hour or so, I filled it with water that I would later rinse out just to remove any lingering chemicals. Dad had some neon rocks for his old tanks, so I picked out the black and green ones since I thought they'd achieve some kind of aesthetic. I then boiled these to kill any bacteria that made themselves home on the rocks. At the market, I found a beautiful red Siamese fighting fish that was only going for $8. After acclimating him, he seemed to enjoy his tank, I think. The filter was a bit strong, so I later bent the tube to reduce the airflow. That way he wouldn't have to fight the current all the time since his fins were very large. As you do with all new toys, you try to play with them. So we tried to feed him some of the food the lady gave us with the fish. He, of course, didn't show any interest, so I assumed he was still settling into his new home. The lady also gave us this leaf that was supposed to help, I guess. I'm not sure how, but I threw it away not long after this. I asked my partner what to name him, and we decided his first name was going to be Akai, which is Japanese for red, and jalapeno because, well, spice is associated with the color red. I guess there are no limits to our creativity. The very next day, I noticed Akai's tank was getting very green. I wasn't sure if the plants were causing this or my fish really stunk, but I assumed algae was starting to develop fast, so I got some help doing my first water change for the tank. Akai only just got introduced into the tank, so I felt a bit bad doing so much in the short time of his arrival, though I'm sure he began to realize that I'm a pretty fussy roommate, since I was frequently moving his environment around even before this. On the same day, I decided that Akai needed some friends, so I bought 2 otter catfish and 2 cherry shrimp. They would also help with the algae and waste issue I was having in the tank. They settled in quite nicely, with the shrimp taking coverage on the plants, though later they hid themselves from view under the roots and rocks. The catfish were very excited with their new surroundings, swimming around, licking glass. I can't tell if they're actually eating anything half the time, but I was told that they found food themselves and that I didn't need to stress a whole bunch. At first, Akai didn't seem to mind his new tank buddies, though it became apparent that Akai was a bit of a tank bully. I guess this was his way of laying out the law to the new guys, but I was holding my breath hoping he would start eating the shrimp since I noticed he paid a lot of attention to their existence. The vegetation and rocks served as good coverage. I just hope I can feed him before he gets hungry for something live. I read that each fighting fish has its own personality. Some are pretty chill, while others can be quite hostile. Even though it looked like Akai could have gone for the shrimp or nipped at one of the catfish, he never actually took his opportunity. This was good since it meant he was capable of companionship without bloodlust. It had been 3 days now since I first introduced Akai into the tank, and he still was not eating. I bought new better specific foods, thinking that maybe the market lady gave me things that traumatized Akai. But as you can see, he goes for the food, then doesn't seem to care for the rest. I'm starting to think he's either extremely picky or could be unwell. The next day, I did some more research and learned that it was possible that the food I was giving Akai wasn't similar to what he was being fed prior to being kidnapped from where he originally came from. Apparently, sellers feed them live food, so I got some frozen bloodworms and dangled them in front of his face. At first, he didn't even realize it was there, but after some persistence, he finally realized, hey, this feels gourmet enough for me to eat.
Yes! Success! He's eating! Oh, he spat it out. Nope, nope. Okay, he ate it. Which is a good sign, I guess, but... Oh my goodness. How am I gonna feed you regularly like this? Ken? Come on. It's right there, just grab it. Go for it. Yeah! Yes! Success! I finally got you to eat something. Yeah, eat more, man, eat more. Oh, not eat too much, but eat more. Yeah, look, it's floating. The rest of the worm is floating. Here. There we go. Good boy.
Thank goodness, I was very happy I found something he could eat, but it quickly dawned on me that this was going to be a hard thing to continue doing every day. Imagine getting a dog and having to hand feed it food twice a day, 7 days a week. I've realized my fish is an extremely needy pet, but this is a good step forward to understanding Akai's apparently bougie personality. Also, it would be extremely unhealthy to only feed bloodworms to Akai, since bloodworms are not a good primary source of protein for fighting fish. So I decided to be a bit strict. I will now switch to pellets and will not stop until he feels hungry enough to willingly learn that he should eat them. It's a bit cruel, but would benefit him in the long run for sure.
Oh my goodness. The shrimp was so happy for so long. Look what you've done. You better finish it. That costs money, man.
Yeah, it happened. I was doing a tank clean and really wanted to remove the rocks I had since food was accumulating in the gaps. I forgot the shrimp were relying on it for safety, and the Kai, during his starving phase, jumped at the opportunities for shrimp meat. It's sad, but I would be lying if I said this wasn't pretty cool. With the passing of one of the shrimp, I was hesitant to add any more until I could figure out some effective coverage for them. So I bought 3 algae-eating suckerfish. They're different to the other fish I initially bought and can't seem to sit still. They're really cool in the sense that they all move together. Also, the other fish didn't jump around lots, so having some more movement in the tank would help Akai feel more alert and less bored of his surroundings. In addition, they would assist as an extra algae-eating team for the tank, giving the other fish some help maintaining the tank by sucking on glass as they do every day. Something really cool happened today. Akai started eating the fish food I got him. I suppose he adjusted himself to the fact that he was only getting this kind of food, and so he caved and now eats what he's given. He doesn't really go for food at the top of the water unless it's worms, but this is a massive step forward and a major sigh of relief. Thank you guys for watching the video. I've been really excited to share my learning experience with my first ever pet. I'll be sure to do more updates of Akai and how he's doing every so often. Thank you all again for watching the video until this point. Please like and subscribe if you like the content you see and want more. Also, if you have any ideas for the tank or anything I could add, please feel free to comment down in the comment section. I love reading the comments. Thank you and good night. It's almost 1 AM and the video is not finished yet.